Concept of transaction in database, I'm going to create two users, user 1 and user 2. Then we'll create two tables in user 1's account and two tables in user 2's account, and I will share tables of one user with the second user. So first I'm going to log in as a sys user. Now I am creating a new user, user 1. Password is also user 1. And assigning some quota on user's table space to this user. Now I am granting privilege of create session, create table, create procedure to user 1. Same way I am creating second user with name user 2, password is user 2. Remaining things will be same, and granting privilege of create session, create table and create procedure to user 2. Now I am connecting as user 1. Password is user 1. Now going to create one table with one attribute A1, two attributes A1 and A2. Creating second table B1 and B2, two attributes. Now I am going to share this table 1 and table 2 with user 2. So because user 1 is the owner of table 1 and table 2, user 1 can grant access of insert, delete and update in this table, in these tables to any other users. So now user 2 will also be able to access table 1 and table 2. So now let's connect as user 2 and check whether user 2 is able to access these tables or not. So when you write owner name dot table name, it will be displayed, right? So this table 1 does not exist in the account of user 2, but it exists in the account of user 1, and therefore owner's name is required. So owner name dot table name will display the structure. Now when we write so it is showing insufficient privileges because user 2 does not have privilege to select data from table 1. We have not given that permission. So now let's see if this user is able to insert data in this table or not. So insert into c ## user 1 dot table name values. So even though the user is not able to select the data, that user can insert the data. Same way he would be able to delete and update the data. So now we'll have to give rights of selection from this table 1 and table 2 to user 2. So let's do that first. So I'm again login as user 1 and granting permission of select to user 2. Same way we can grant permission of table 2 to user 2 and permission of insert, delete, update on table 2 to user 2. Now again connecting as user 2 and trying to select data from table 1 now. So now it is showing this data because now the user has been given the rights to view the data. So this is how one user can share tables from his or her account with second user. Okay, now to check transaction, I am going to open one more client. Here we are logged in as user 2, so now I am going to log in as user 1. So C ## user 1 and user 1. So let's open this side by side. So the actual owner of table 1 is user 1. So if you write select star from table 1, the records will be displayed. Now I am inserting into this table, insert into table 1 values 2 and 102, and when you write select statement, it will show you both these records. Now here in user 2 also I am executing the same command for viewing the data from table 1, but as you can see it is showing only one record. The reason is the record which is inserted by user 1 in this table 1 is inserted, but the changes are done in buffer into RAM. They are not saved permanently because commit is not executed and therefore the data will not be saved. Now when you write commit and execute it, the changes will be saved permanently in the table, in the physical table, and then when second user, that is user 2, will select data, it will be displayed in his or her account. So now if I write this, I'll get the data which was previously displayed because the changes were done in the buffer, but in user 2 it was not displayed. Now when I write this, it is displayed here. So this is an example of transaction, that when one user is doing changes in the table and if second user is accessing the same data, until and unless commit or rollback is done by the first user, the changes will not be reflected in the original, in the second user's account. So this is an example of transaction.